and welcome to the latest episode of the Analytics Are for the Nerds podcast. I'm Louie Gee. I'm here with my guest co-host for the day, Ryan Mura, retweeting this right now. You already retweeted it?
I already did.
Okay, look at you. You're that quick. I didn't think I'd be the second retweeter, but we're out there. We're getting out to the masses. Back for our second week. This is really exciting for me, Ryan, because this is probably the first time in 3 years of hosting the show that I'm going to have a co-host that can actually talk fantasy football. So I'm really excited to have you on here. Kyle, RIP. He's not dead yet, but he's becoming a firefighter, so he should be soon.
Be careful what you wish for, because I think 3 years ago it was in the off season. That's when I wanted or was predicting a big year from Laviska Shenault. And you know what? Maybe it's not being a year early. Maybe it's not being too early. 2 years early. It's 3 years early on some players. And maybe this is the year in Carolina now that he breaks out.
It's so funny that you that's your guy that you mentioned in that little bit. That's such a I can't get rid of it. Where the fuck were we going to talk about Laviska Shenault in this? You're getting me off the radar. But I cannot get him. He's one of those guys that I cannot get off my dynasty rosters. I will hold him until he could retire. And I'd be like, you never know, man. You never know. He could have a comeback. Calvin Ridley took 2 years off. Watson took 2 years off. I'm going to wait till he's out of the league for 3 years before I get him off of any of my dynasty teams. We're there. So let's talk about him for 1 second. We already have taken too much time on Laviska Shenault. But is there a chance? If there's going to be a chance, it's going to be with a brand new young quarterback. There's a lot of weapons there. Realistically, are you expecting anything from him?
I'm expecting there to be one significant mouth to feed in Carolina. I'm not sure which person that's going to be, which receiver that's going to be. I heard some things, and I was reading some things about their signing of Thielen really being for a specific purpose and what Frank Reich wants to do in that offense. But I never want to buy into a late, career receiver like that. And given some of his injury concerns the last couple of years, I have been taking a good amount of Jonathan Mingo. Not because I think – what's that?
I'm huge on Mingo. Sorry to cut you off, but yeah,
sure.
I'm big on him.
Yeah, I think it's because it just makes logical sense, right? If you're going to look for at value, at ADP, who stands out, it's a early draft capital receiver that they clearly also had plans on pairing with Bryce Young early in his career for some purpose. And again, it wasn't someone, he was one of those risers in the draft process that kind of was a sleeper for quite some time. And then all of a sudden he started, you were hearing some rumors about him and the fact that he was going to jump up the boards. And there he was early in the second round taken. So I've been bearish on him, honestly, in Dynasty, but for redraft purposes, I'm loving taking those shots at his current ADP.
We're going to talk a lot about the rookie wide receivers, I think, throughout the topics that we have today. But Mingo has become my number one in Dynasty when it comes to win now teams. Value one for where you get them. So I'd rather have him where you're getting him compared to any of the other guys where you're getting them. So just in a dynasty aspect in full, that's where I'm expecting him or where I have him. But on win now teams, dynasty and redraft and underdog, which we're talking about here now, Allie, stop distracting. Allie's in the background distracting me like always. Last week she was working out. Now she's just pointing at the screen. I'm going to have to black her out of the backstage area. I'm so used. I'm like a bird. I'm just so used to it. I didn't take my Adderall today. But I think Mingo has like the best. I wouldn't be shocked if he was the number one wide receiver this year, rookie wide receiver this year. Mostly, and we'll talk about a couple of these guys, but mostly because of the landing spots of others. And you kind of were leaning towards this just now as you were talking, but like maybe I don't have any stats to back this up or any kind of history because you know me, I just say things. But Kyle's not on the show anymore, so I got to be the dumb one. But I do believe in that like camaraderie, right? Like that they come in together, and you just see that a lot. You see that with a quarterback, rookie, wide receiver come in, and they instantly become, this is us. This is going to be us for the next 5 years. We got to build this now. Thielen, I agree with you that they brought him in for something, and a guy like Reich, I think, really would be somebody like McDermott, where he's like coach clap and all about culture and everything. I bet you Thielen's more about grooming these young wide receivers than anything, and I just don't expect him to have a huge year. I'm kind of fading Thielen. I'd much rather have Mingo, especially in these underdog tournaments. Let's start talking about these underdogs more. But I would much rather have Mingo, Chenault, even in the like last round, or Terrence Marshall in the last round, because I do think that Chenault and Marshall will have spike weeks, right? They'll have 1 or 2 weeks throughout the season where they make your team in best ball.
Yeah. So with these underdog drafts, it's we've had some discussions, prior to this show about, roster construction build, and it's very hard to pigeonhole yourself into one strategy, right? You cannot just go into a draft and say, well, this is what I'm going to do. It depends on where your draft spot is. It depends on how the board falls, especially in the second and third rounds when you're starting to pick those players that are going to form your stacks. But I don't ever look at it in any sort of rigid way. I tend to, as we've drafted in different months, right? You look at even pre-NFL draft best ball, the players that you get value on are often the rookies, right? I'm big into drafting the rookies, and my portfolio is heavy on rookies. I teased in before the show that my 2 most rostered players are rookies, and they're actually different reasons as to why I'm interested in them. So if you want, I can just go right into that. But rookies, the rookies that I'm targeting right now, I'm drafting at 39 and 38% are Devin Achane and Tajay Spears. So I actually was not big into Achane before the draft. It didn't seem like he had those measurables that you would look at for a running back and a 3-down back, that sort of thing. And then he lands in Miami, and I say, screw the 3-down roll. I don't care about that. I want those explosive touches, and I'm expecting a lot of those right out of the gate. I think that the need is there. I know that in the past, McDaniel's been the type to rotate his running backs, and that's always going to be, that's probably why his ADP is so palatable. But I was never really drafting him before the draft happened and the NFL draft happened. And then afterwards, I expected his ADP to climb, well into, perhaps even up to, somewhere like 80 into that back end RB2, high end RB3 range. And it's still so palatable. It's, one in the 100s. It's 110, 115, somewhere around there. So I'm constantly finding myself clicking on him, especially if I'm lacking in running backs. And then just quickly on Spears, he's a clear candidate for touches in this backfield with an aging Derrick Henry. And you could say that the Hopkins news is not good for his case, but in my opinion, if you get more high volume and actually quality touches inside the red zone because Hopkins is making some plays for that offense, theoretically, and especially if Henry misses time, Spears is going to smash. And I just want to have him everywhere, especially when his ADP, I think most recently was like 175 or something like that. It's just absurd. I know it's going to climb, but I'm almost taking him. I feel like in every draft that I can, unless I get sniped.
Yeah, so I don't want to stream off of the underdog conversation, but those two are number 2 and 3 in my shares. Will Levis is number 1 somehow. I just I don't even love Will Levis, but what I'll explain that in a second. But Ashane and Spears are my number 2 and 3 most owned players in Dynasty right now, as far as rookies go. I love them both for, I don't need to add too much to what you said. I'll say this: a lot of smarter people than me, a lot of people that do break down the tape and all the measurables, love Ashane, and so I'm big just on that, just because of, just like you said, I much rather have that guy on a team or with a coach like McDaniels who is going to rotate. Like I would almost be more fearful for him going to a team that's going to work their number 1, because I think that rotation is gonna what's gonna get him in over the Mosterts and Wilson, and then I think his talent will just show that he's gonna need to be part of that. Again, 2 guys that have been injury riddled too in Mostert and Wilson. So I love that. I everyone, I think you missed the one spot that I think everyone is, or why his ADP is still down, and I think that's Dalvin Cook. And if Dalvin Cook does not end up signing in Miami, man, what a value. He's going to go up 20, 30 spots in ADP, and what a value for guys like me and you that have been taking them all off season. Spears, doesn't Spears feel a lot like Henry when he was a rookie too? Like, Henry came in as a rookie behind who was that? DeMarco Murray, am I wrong?
It could have, yeah, I think it was that year.
Right. And he, hardly got any, but it feels a lot of the same. It's just like, man, this is a great running offense. I don't really care about this guy's, I'm sorry. Like, I'm telling you right now, I'm not breaking down Spears' film, but I'm telling you, it's a great team to be a running back on. And if he gets that opportunity, more than likely he's going to end up putting up big numbers. So
someone that I respect for the scouting process, Matt Waldman, he's a big Spears guy and has been the whole time, even pre NFL draft. And, he had that steady buzz about him throughout the draft process, but I still think he's, completely flown under the radar. There was a period of time that I thought they were going to move on from Derrick Henry, which, would have made him an even bigger smash. But even if he's still there and healthy and playing his share of that offense, which is a large one, I'm in on the complimentary touches and the injury upside of him for next season for sure.
So a big part, this we're doing the whole guest host thing here for a while and trying to find maybe a forever. And big thing is compatibility, right? With a co-host. You want to play it. You want to play guess my highest exposures.
Yes,
I know a lot about my trip. Now 39%. You said, can you roughly how many drafts have you done in the office?
Over 200.
Okay, and 39% is huge. Because I'm at, I don't want to say out loud, but no, I'm at like 4 something, and I don't go over 25%, or I really try not to go over 25%. I will go over. I got a couple guys that I'm over that, which I'm probably gonna, tip you off a little bit. But let's start with. I will tell you, my running back currently plays for nobody. I'll give you that hint.
Yep. So Fournette.
It is actually Zeke.
Okay.
It's kind of the same thing with Fournette, and it does kind of suck that Fournette looks like he's going to be the one that signs first. But I really do feel like Cook, Fournette, and Zeke are basically free right now. And I'm sorry, but who's the kid that just signed with the Bills? Jesus, the kid, the old man, the grandfather that just signed with the Bills.
DeMarco or Latavius Murray.
Latavius Murray. Like Latavius Murray had what, 500, 600 yards last year? Like those three guys are going to make an impact this year for teams and good teams, because the good teams are going to wait till their guys get hurt and then they're going to bring them in. No bad team signing Zeke or Fournette. So I've been snapping all three of them quite a bit at the end. I'm up to 30% Zeke, and
I don't blame you.
It's only July 20th.
It's the idea of Zeke that I'd be okay with at 30%, right? Which is a late round dart throw running back, usually on teams that may need some help at that position, right? Where I have four guys and maybe I've neglected that. I've hammered receiver and maybe took some values at quarterback and tight end. So I'm needy. I'm good with Zeke. I'm good with Fournette. I'm not so good with Kareem Hunt. I think he's done. I do think he's washed, but
I left Hunt out of that specifically because I have faded him too. Yep. Now, a reunion with Kansas City will make me change my mind real quick, but I do think he's going to be the last of the four to get a job. And, what does that leave? I already think like there's not really three good opportunities for the three guys that I do think will do well. So, when you talk about Hunt being fourth, I don't know what he'll do. But one I want to talk about really funny because, and let's just switch gears here a little bit, but it will be talking about this underdog thing and my exposure. But it's going to bring up a pretty funny conversation between you and I. So I want to do this new segment, which is aptly named and also probably the biggest reason why I'm recently separated. But I'm right and you're wrong. So I'm going to tell you players that I feel one way or about, and I know from our personal chats that you feel differently. So I'm going to tell you why I like or dislike a player, and you can argue against me. While we were talking about this week, and even as I told you this, even as I was saying it out loud, I knew it didn't really feel good. I told you I was a little down on Drake London, and he's my second most used wide receiver. I absolutely love him. In Dynasty, I have been paying out the ass for him. I think it's a little bit of this like getting closer to the season and being nervous about Ritter thing. But Marcus Mariota was a top 12 quarterback when he got benched for Ritter, fantasy-wise. And, I mean, you can't tell me that Ritter's any worse than him. And now you add, one more year at London, hopefully a game plan that involves more Kyle Pitts. I want to take that back. So I'm not going to start with that with you, but I will start with Dalton Schultz. Because
all right, hold on a second. Wait, you give me an opportunity. You start selling me. You tease me with this Atlanta Falcons offense, which I am just champing at the bit to talk about. And you say,
go ahead.
Instead, tell me about Dalton Schultz. No, I cannot talk to you about Dalton Schultz.
All right, we'll go with Dalton Schultz. You talk about the Falcons.
So I've just recently come to this conclusion, but I am all in on the Falcons this year. And I want to take Bijan, I want to take Pitts, and I want to take London all at ADP or higher. And I'm comfortable hitting up all three in the same draft, no matter what. I don't care if there's questions about the total passing volume. And honestly, that's the biggest question, right? In terms of run pass ratios last year, only Chicago had a higher run pass ratio. They were basically 60-40 run to pass. Atlanta was 57-42 basically. And so, yeah, they're certainly going to be running, but I already have the biggest piece of that in Bijan. I want the passing game options. There's two. That's it. There are two passing game options. I want both of them because they're both supremely talented. And if there is some positive regression, like you say, between going from Mariota to Ritter, which I think that's possible. I can see that happening. I want in. So, they just spent a lot in free agency. Which doesn't always work, I know, but it's going to help that defense a little bit, I think. And they're going to start winning games. Now, I don't know if that necessarily means that they're going to have crazy fantasy success, but I think it could happen. I'm going to buy that talent. I'm going to bet on that talent all day. So,
well, I am very big on all three of them at their ADP, especially Pitts. I mean, it's Pitts is like someone that, like an ex-girlfriend that just hurt you so bad that you don't want anything to do with them. You'll never, because so many people were so high on him and overdrafted him these last couple of years. He is becoming like, I can't stop taking him at tight end 5 and whatever. Like, I just I'm every single time, especially if I didn't have a build where I got, Kelsey, because I'm not drafting Kittle. I'm drafting very little Andrews, and who's 3? Who am I missing?
Hawkinson.
I am drafting a lot of Hawk. And almost, I hate it because everyone does it, but like in almost every Jefferson build, so every 1-1, I find myself, doing the whole Hawk. And
see, that's an interesting. So, just a quick aside on that.
Yeah.
I had one team last year advance to the Best Ball Mania finals, and that was a team that did have a double stack with Tua and Waddle and Hill. But I also had Naked Burrow. I had, other pieces, and you could say, well, yeah, you didn't win, so so maybe that's why. And obviously, Pat Crane's team had a lot of correlation that week 17. But I don't know. Sometimes I think that you just take shots with these players. Sometimes even if they're not pairing perfectly with your team, if you just take good players, right? Take good fantasy assets at your spot, and that's what I do with Pitts. That's exactly why I'm smashing that on Underdog every time I get the chance, regardless of who I have. Sometimes I even have Andrews. I'm like, great, I got Andrews Pitts now. I'm set. I don't touch tight end for the rest of the draft. And I'm good. I know it doesn't typically work out to have those 2 elite tight ends and you're passing up on the value in those rounds. I don't care. I don't care what the trends say. You gotta take shots. You gotta, because that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it your team, right?
Yep. I have a good question of what have you thought about this? Because I found myself doing it way too much, and then I kind of thought about it, and it doesn't make too much sense outside of a super flex best ball. But what I found myself doing a lot was correlating the 2 quarterbacks that were playing together in week 17. And as soon as I thought about it more and made this discovery, I haven't done it in about 6 weeks. And let me tell you, I feel like if you're getting that shootout game, right? Like if you're getting the shootout game that you want out of a double correlation, well, then you're going to leave 30 points on your bench, right? Yep. Like, because the 2 quarterbacks are going to be, say they're 30 and 35. Well, now you're leaving 30 on the. I'd much rather have one of the quarterbacks and then a bunch of weapons from that game. And I don't know, again, the stats or the history behind it, but I got to imagine that quarterbacks in the same game correlation has not done well in the past. Super flex all day. Give me that, in the little super flex puppies and all that. That's what you want. But I felt like that was a strategy I was going with that really wasn't working out and wasn't smart, so I stopped it.
All right, so I'll get back to your original question, Dalton Schultz. I like that he has been a target earner. Okay, give him credit for that. In a Dallas offense that does certainly feature that position, which take that for what you will about late round tight end darts on Ferguson or Schoonmaker, right? But in any event, Schultz definitely fills a position of need in Houston. He's not, I don't think, going to have much competition from the rest of the roster. But, and one other positive in his favor. I do think that Stroud, I could see a scenario in which Stroud relies on the tight end in the middle of the field for move the chains types targets, and he in a PPR league he smashes. In Underdog, I think he's going to be like a back end tight, a high end tight end 2, or as his ceiling. I don't see him smashing in a way that is going to be anywhere meaningful, and I'd rather take bigger upside shots where he's going right now. If he falls to me a round or two, then I think you have to, just like any draft, you have to sometimes acknowledge that maybe the market knows more than me and I should take this player because it's a great value. But I can't get my mind around getting excited about drafting him and seeing him playing any sort of meaningful role, even if I do have that team advance, to the late round of the, to the playoffs.
All right. You're about to blow your fucking mind. Ready? So I did actual research. Schultz, over 100 first downs the past 3 years, right? Like he is a first down machine. He's got no wide receiver competition there. I mean, there's just nobody that's like, at least is going to stand out. It's kind of like the Carolina situation. And listen to this. Of the 30 rookie quarterbacks in the past years that have played over 8 games, 40% of them have finished higher than a 20.82 target share to tight ends.
What?
There was a lot of numbers. 98% of the time it works all the time or some shit like that. But that is 40% of those guys.
I had to take a nap halfway through.
I get that.
I couldn't even finish.
You should all rewind that, make sure I said it right, and then no, 40% of those guys use their tight end target share more than 20%. I mean,
I still don't get it. They get a higher target share, or they get more than 20% target share.
Tight ends playing for those teams. All right. So, I mean, what I'm trying to say is what you already said, much more simpler than those numbers, is that Stroud is going to rely on the tight end for those easy first downs.
So, yeah. So I think we're in agreement, honestly, on the reasoning or kind of like what we see as happening, meaning I see that being a volume play, right? You're also looking at it as a volume play. You're looking at him taking a lot of targets from I just don't see them scoring a ton of touchdowns. And I don't, I think that you're hoping for him to hit 110 points for you in Underdog, which, would be a back end tight end 1, but what is that really doing for your team? Right. Spike weeks, maybe.
I'm starting to really build a lot of my teams in Underdog looks at playing off of that late game, or like the Houston, Tennessee week 17 game. Like, they're so cheap, right? So you can get Stroud, you can get Tannehill if you want to play him. The most expensive player there is, going to be Hopkins now. And a lot of people got Hopkins at I don't know. This is like how I play the stock market. This is how I shop. Like, if I ever see something on sale and I didn't buy it, and then the next day it's just more like, all right, that's it. I'm never getting that. And I can't draft Hopkins anymore because there's just too many people that got him way later. And so I'm not doing that, but there's so many good. Burks now is becoming a huge value to me. Like, I'll take Burks where he's going all day because I don't think his production is going to drop much from last year. And he was fine at that position.
Yeah, Burks definitely will fall a little bit, but I don't expect his floor to fall into the hundreds or anything like that. He's going to be around probably pick 80 or something now. I would say right around Quentin Johnston, that territory of receivers, I think. But yeah, he's an interesting one. The whole Tennessee offense now certainly took a positive bump from Hopkins signing there, but again, I don't know how much I'm going to be in on them. Another guy that you're higher on that I'm not so high on was Najee Harris, and I know I'd like to hear your argument for it, and maybe you can go first this time. And
yeah, so yeah, I am going to, and this will be the last one here before we bring in our guests for that, and we got a whole nother show that we didn't even get to, so we'll at least
because I brought up Laviska Shenault in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's it. You ruined it all right away with the Shenault thing. Well, here's the funny thing, right? This is what I wanted to get back to on the Underdog, so I'm glad you picked Najee for our last one. Is that he's my highest owned running back. And call me old school, but I just think that the way that the league is going and the switch of what am I trying to say? The rotation of the running backs. I don't believe in Jaylen Warren. I honestly am a little scared that they might be one of the teams that bring in a Zeke or whatever, and then that would really hurt my Najee stuff. But I don't believe in Jaylen Warren, and Najee could catch the ball. Pickett's going to get better. The offense is going to get better. I fool me once, and here I am. I'm a second time. If he screws me again this year, then whatever. But he's at a way easier price to swallow this year than he was last year.
Okay, I'll grant you that, but there are so many players around where he's being taken that I would much rather have, including Jahmyr Gibbs, like straight up. He's going one pick before or after him, almost all, it's right in that range of teams that might pick a running back in that, range. But the problem I have with Najee is not really based on Jaylen Warren belief. Like, I don't know if Jaylen Warren's going to be good. There's some metrics that make him look like an interesting player, at least being explosive last year and more explosive than Najee towards the second half of the year. They also seem to like him. That's what I think matters more, right? And like you said, they may be a team that could bring someone in. So to me, his role is not guaranteed. His numbers from his rookie year were clearly inflated by Roethlisberger checking down because he had a noodle arm and couldn't get passes, more than 10 yards downfield. So he was a huge sell to me last year, and he's still a fade to me this year, because if the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be any good, they're going to need that passing game to take a step. And I think they're going to want to see what they have in Pickett, right? So I would much rather have those weapons, if you want to call it that. I mean, I like Johnson, Deontay, and Pickens is fine to me, but I'd much rather be on the passing side of that. But, touche, to each his own.
All right, let's get in our guests here and do our draft. I'm going to bring in Clayton Williams and Allie Brady, both local. Man, she's working out again. Allie, hi. How are you? Clayton, how you doing, bud? Oh, are we all not hearing him?
Right?
Yeah, it was muted. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, come on, Clay. Happy birthday, Clayton. It's not his birthday.
It's not. There's a mute button on my mic, and as I moved it, it pressed. That's why.
Guys, we're going to be drafting. We brought in fashionable Allie Brady and Clayton Williams, two of the most fashionable people I know, to draft the best NFL jerseys of all time. I really sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah?
Sorry.
Continue.
Someone texted me, and then it all fucked me up. Sorry. No.
Wait. Time out. What weird shit? Like, hey, Louie, you going out? Like, what? That's how I think your friends talk, Louie. Yo, what's up, Louie? How do your friends talk, Louie? What's up?
It's very similar.
Do any of your friends spell your name right, Louie?
Well, but no one does, though. That's the whole thing. But no, actually, a lot of them do. Because most of them do because they all have an uncle, Louie. So that's why, someone's grandpa or uncle.
It's
Louie.
not Lou and then the letter E. Like,
yeah, Lou hyphen.
It is Clay.
All right, you guys know this. You both have been on for drafts before. You know how we do things. We're gonna go through 6. I think we could do 6 each. I got a lot of good choices. I don't want the 4 spot, but let's see what we get, because I have a very top 3. I'm going to run the order here. Number 1, Ryan Mura. Number 2, Allie Brady. Number 3, Clayton. And of course, I got the 4 spot. So the Louie Gee, the mush strikes again.
Ryan, if you mess this up, I'm gonna kill you. Okay. Okay. Good luck.
Oh, sorry.
All right, Ryan, you get us started with 1-1.
Look, I do think that there's like a clear number one here. And if you put your homer bias aside, it has to be the powder blue LA Chargers uniforms. I think you just have instant visions of LaDainian Tomlinson just gashing in that sick, you get the whole uniform. So you get LaDainian Tomlinson with his sick visor, and it's just the greatest visual ever, aesthetic ever for any football player. So I'm very happy to have the LA Chargers powder blue. I guess back then it's San Diego Chargers powder blue, if we're being technical here. But easy first pick for me. Hopefully I didn't take your pick, Allie. Did I?
No,
No. Thanks, Ryan.
Okay.
I think we got tipped off by Vegas there. I didn't think they were the obvious number one, but like 20 minutes before the draft started, Vegas made them the number one odds-on favorite. So I figured they had some inside information, and I don't hate it. It's a good pick. It's respectable at number one. But Allie, who do you got at number two?
Okay, I'm gonna pick hometown favorite, the Carolina Buffalo Bills. I'm gonna go 1985, 1986 jersey. The year I was born. It was the blue numbers, red outside lined. It was the last year the Bills ever did the blue mouth guard, which really changed the game. And it was also the last year the New York Mets ever won anything. So I feel like that was like the curse. So fuck you, Yankees. Okay.
I forgot you're a Mets fan too.
I'm a Giants fan, but I just...
Okay. Why didn't you just stay cool? For 1 second, you were cool.
I'm sorry. I mean...
Hey, guys.
Go Derek Jeter.
Well, I will tell you this. You just saved me in the 4 spot because I had a top 3. You didn't take one of my top 3s. So no matter what Clayton does, I'm going to be okay. But Clayton, who is your number one pick?
All right. So my number one pick, it was a toss-up because one, I hate the team, but it's an iconic jersey. And the other one is I love the team, and it's an iconic jersey. So I'm going to be a homer for this one. I'm going to go 75 Bills jersey.
The old
I love it.
Prince? Yeah.
I just love it's just like.
Are we talking the white, or are you talking about the didn't they have a blue back then? I think
they did have a blue. I like the blue a lot. Like I always love a good like home jersey, and like you're gonna see that there's a big connection of I like stripes in the right places. Like
I hope that's your Tinder, like that. If that's like a perfect like Tinder headline, like I like stripes in the right places.
Yeah,
he is married. He is married.
Yeah, he is. For my new Tinder. I can't get on Tinder. I can't do it yet. I'm not there yet. Are you there, Allie? Allie was like, "Why not?" I'm not a Tinder. Sorry, I can't be there. All right, I got 2 of my top 3. You guys suck, all you homers. But there's an obvious. You guys said obvious. You guys all said obvious number one. But there's one obvious number one, right? You know what it is? It's black and yellow. The Pittsburgh Steelers just home jersey is 100% the best jersey in football.
Okay.
And I definitely think that's the number one. It's the most iconic. It's the one jersey that your grandmother can name who wears it. Like, I mean, we're getting old.
Yeah,
Most of our grandmothers probably aren't around. But someone's
R.I.P. Grandma.
Love you.
1919 grandma. She's so okay. Go on.
Louie's picking out if something is fashionable based on if his grandma would know what it looks like.
Wait. While you say that, can we just, Allie, I need your help. Like,
don't show your penis. Wait,
no, I'm not sure. Is this fashionable? Is this cool? It's a little weird.
Your wire electric chair?
No. I've been ordering a lot of Japanese clothes in my recent separation, thinking that they're gonna make me look good. I just need a girl's opinion.
They're made smaller.
Joggers?
Yeah. Okay. Joggers. Doing some joggers.
Is it one of those? Is it one of those things like it's a capsule, you add water, and then you're wearing pants? Is it like that? Because we got to put you on Tinder, Lou. Okay.
I do worry that this is just like China's way of like killing us all. They're like, you know what Americans love? Cheap, materialistic shit. And they just, every time that they send something, it's got like a little bit of anthrax in it, and we're just carrying it around. That's what brought COVID, actually. That's right. Hey, was Sheen around right when
just
COVID
bad jeans and
so thin.
knock off Levi's.
I am the perfect person for fashion advice, is what I'm trying to say. So yes, the number one is the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I also got my number 3. Ryan took my number 2, but my number 3, Tampa Bay creamsicle jerseys are awesome. Right? Like were they all high in your bird? Those were so cool. The Tampa Bay creamsicle jerseys, whether or not you thought that they were great, horrible, or ugly, you still will remember them. You all knew what I meant when I said the creamsicle jersey. So I am gonna yes.
Remember, this is for everyone in the audience. Remember how we all wanted a Charlotte Hornet starter jacket?
Yeah.
Louie wanted a Pittsburgh Pirates one.
Yeah, right.
Like we're like, why are we going baseball? Just okay. Now go on. I'm so sorry. Go on.
What were you writing that joke down as I was talking?
No. I was like, why is
Fine. I am very happy with my stuff. Okay. But all right, now we are back to Clayton for his next pick.
All right. So this is a team that I hate, but I cannot, and I cannot say that this isn't an iconic jersey. It's the 80s away Dolphins jersey. Like legit, like Marino era, like that fucking like white with that turquoise, like that it is so hard. Like I fucking loved seeing that jersey, and I hated seeing that jersey at the same time. Like it was just that color, and it's like it's one of the few away jerseys that I think is significantly better than a home jersey, because like the full, I'm not a big fan of it, but like and again, perfect stripes, like fat stripes on the arm, just like it was a look. It like I feel like every like Florida rapper had it on all the time. I mean, I'm just like, yeah. If you were watching like a 2 Live Crew video, you're definitely seeing that fucking jersey.
I really want to go off on a 2 Live Crew tangent, but this is starting to become more of a therapy session than it is. So I'm gonna not. But I can. If you guys want to wait till after the show, I can tell you a really funny story from the other day. All right. This isn't even recording right now. This is just me trying to hang out with my friends. You know, it's been a tough
I love
time.
that all these are going to be like riddles to your separation. It's like 2 Live Crew was there, Japanese clothes.
I hate you so much. All right, where are we at? Are we at Allie?
When's the last time Louie has been hugged for more than 3 seconds? Okay, so we're gonna go in here. Okay. So I'm gonna go with the 1960-1961 season AFL throwback Broncos, because I hate them so much. Anyway, I'm a homer, everyone. Just so all of this is because I'm like a mean girl. The Broncos jersey was brown and yellow, which 1 and 2, right? Like striped yellow, brown socks, yellow, brown, just number 1s and number 2s, their entire jersey. And then somehow they were like, oh, let's not have poo and shit. Like, and pee. Like, it was like, I don't know why they did that. I don't know why. In the 60s, like they just brought Technicolor out to movies. So they were going black and white. All of a sudden they were like, oh, it's not black and white, it's brown and yellow. So it's like, because it's so gross, I'm going 1960 AFL Denver Broncos. Okay.
It's great. Black and white, brown and yellow. That's good.
Okay.
All right. Brian, you're up for 2.
Okay. Well, I think that I I have to take the 1990s red helmet Bills jerseys. I think that the best argument I can make in favor of it is that if you look at any mock-up, even like a real shitty mock-up of Josh Allen wearing a blue jersey and a red helmet, it just looks so fucking badass. You just can't beat it. So that's I mean, that would be sweet to bring it back. And like there's rumors that maybe they are bringing it back for this year, like alternate helmet or something like that. So that's going to be my first of two. And my second of two may be affected or influenced by some recency bias, but I just saw those throwback Seahawks jerseys today, and I think those are just so sharp. Like Hartford Whalers had the coolest jerseys in the NHL back when I was a kid. So like the blue and green, why is that not used more? And not like this bullshit highlighter, terrible green that they have now, but those jerseys were legitimately beautiful. Like the silver helmets and like those are sharp. So I think between those, the Bills jerseys, and then my first pick, I mean, it's pretty good start. So
little known fact, I was a Whalers fan before I started liking the Sabres because of the jerseys. I love them. I have a Keith Primo and a Jeff Sanderson Whalers jersey and a Pat Verbeek. Like I have that, like that was my team. So I'm with you on that. And man, the new retros look so sharp on the Seahawks. They were definitely high up on my list here. It might have been one of the ones I picked here. But while I have a whole nice little second tier here, but I really want I would be disappointed if I didn't get one of them. So I'm going to take the Steelers Bumblebee jerseys right now because they're so fucking cool. Like whatever ugly and whatever you want to say about them, but they're different. And when you watch a game that they're playing in those jerseys, you feel like you're watching, Grange, Otto. I think those are two different guys, but you know who I'm talking about. Somebody from the 60s. I think I almost said Newt Gingrich. I think that was the name that came to me first. Did he play for
I feel like you named a Holocaust survivor. Okay.
All right. Now you're up. How many cancel jokes are you gonna make today? Like
I'm Jewish. I can do it.
Go. You're up.
Oh, I'm up?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm going 1925-1927 season. Chicago Bears. Which they then used a throwback in 1994 jersey, and it was like a navy and yellow. If you Google it, you listeners out there, if you're thinking of like what if you were like a mom or a dad who had very little income and you're making a Halloween costume for your kid and you're trying to make them look like a Power Ranger, this is what it would turn out to look like. Just like stripes, like a V-neck, not flattering, just maybe playing soccer, maybe playing cricket. You don't know what cricket is. It's amazing. It's 1925, 1927 Chicago Bears throwback. 1994 is where you saw it last. Okay. 5. Okay.
Wait.
I'm never back on this. I will never be back on this podcast.
No, I mean, mostly because you're going to be arrested probably by the end of it. But no, I'm trying to share. I like this jersey. Hold on. I'm trying to share it.
It's very so. And I'm also going to talk about, I can talk about this. Like there was a moment where they were like, oh, football, like no.
Can you guys see that now? Is that
look at that. Right? Like amazing.
Man, I am so cool. But
don't look at the middle guy's undercarriage. That's like a potato farmer that something started to grow. I don't.
Those are the pants I got from China.
That's why we're gonna put you on a different website than Grindr.
I feel like those
and they're like the 20s. Like they're like there's so much going on. There's drinking. There's the Gatsby, and there's our uniform. So thank you, Umbro. Yeah, there you go.
Clay for 2.
All right. So for 2, I'm going with the like Deion Sanders early 90s Falcons jersey.
Yes.
Like just that black fucking like oh god. I remember seeing that jersey so much when I lived in Virginia. Like it was just like it's simple and it's like clean and like I think about that for like some other jerseys where like you'll look at it like an old Raiders jersey and it's just another black jersey, but it doesn't hit the same. Like it just that like, and I don't even like red that much, but like it just pops the red. It's fucking hard jersey. Like I love it.
I absolutely love that pick, and it would have been one of my first ones if I wasn't intentionally skipping it because there is no way that anybody but the black guy could have gotten the Atlanta Falcons jersey. Like you needed that jersey specifically, and I had to make sure you got it. So I compromised for you. You're welcome.
Thank you for your service.
I'm too legit to quit
Thanks,
as well. All right, I'm sorry. You got another pick. Like, hey, if Allie's going down, we're all going down with her.
All right,
I make one
pick.
Jewish comment.
Okay, so I got another pick. Let me
You got another pick.
do this. All right, so this is one just because I liked it. I'm not even like a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of this jersey too much, but I just have like sentimental value because my godfather gave it to me. It's the 96 Jets jersey, like Keyshawn Johnson Jets jersey. Like I had one of those fucking, and I was like, it's not even like all that like great, but yeah, I just loved having that jersey. Like, and it was just like it just reminds me of him, so I had to put that up there.
Are you talking about the green or the white?
I'm talking about the white.
Okay. I think the Jets jersey is a really smooth jersey, and I think that they could have probably like 3 or 4 variations in all of our lists. I love like the green on green that they did.
Okay.
Like, I think the green on green looks with the white helmet just looks really sharp. If I had to pick, I don't have a Jets jersey on, so that's why I just wanted to, talk more. I never get to talk to anyone. You're all my friends. All right, where are we at, Allie?
No, it's it.
No,
it's
you.
It's you.
It goes back to you.
Oh,
did you didn't go, or did you?
Wait,
it's your turn because you made me go twice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're then going
back
back.
to Allie,
Okay.
me, and then Mura for 2.
Okay, so
right?
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so I have a bad jersey that's so bad it's a Bills jersey that's terrible, or I can go another team that's like cool. Okay. I'm also going to preface this. I came in here thinking we were talking about like jerseys, like a soccer jersey, because you're like, oh, we're going to do jerseys, and it's like World Cup and women's, and I was like, oh, and then it was like 1989 Milan, and then so I have all that stuff, but we're talking NFL, so I guess I can't.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Well, I mean, I guess that is a football jersey, right?
I know, but I can't. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that annoying human, and then that's when I really get canceled when I talk about women in sports. So I'm going to go with a jersey that was worn between 1960 and 1963. And I hate that I'm saying this. I hate this. But it's the 1960 Dallas Cowboys because I know. Okay. So you know how college teams like this crop top I'm wearing, you know how like college football players wear crop tops and you're like,
we get it. You have boobs, Allie.
Not in this. I don't. Not in this. This is more Josh Allen than Britt Will. You know what I'm saying? So the Cowboys had a very classic, like if you were playing Madden in 1994 and you're like, I like stars, and you put a star somewhere, like that's what the Cowboys jersey looked like. It looks like you lost a bet and then you made a jersey. You know what I mean?
They
Like you're
do-
drawing on a restaurant paper, and you're like, I'm doodling. Like, good job.
They
Trevor,
definitely
like-
look like a grandmother's sweater. Like it's
Yeah.
like you just put it. It's like it's got
You
stuff
know,
on it.
you're gonna say you washed it, but you sprayed perfume on it. It's like there's a star on either side, and then you eventually get a tattoo there because you're like, I like AFI. So, and it also looks like the 1979 Dallas Cowboys, cowgirls, cheerleading
Oh yeah,
outfit.
yeah. They did look like that was a nice
Yeah.
synergy of
Right, because they were like, all right, we can vote. But okay, so I'm
There
gonna
is-
stop.
There's zero chance people are still listening to this.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry.
I'm joking.
I'm
Wait,
sorry.
You're good. You picked it, right or no? Yeah, the Cowboys.
1960 Dallas Cowboys. I'm so
Yes.
sorry for all of that. Jerry Jones,
No,
fuck you.
It was.
But
it
also,
was
if you're listening, hi.
all right.
Okay.
Those
Take
jerseys
care.
were definitely for segregation. I'm just saying.
He's
Um,
I'm sorry, Buffalo.
you booped and I did this. I was like, oh my god, physical touch.
Sorry,
Leave me
guys. I
alone.
gotta work out.
All right, my next
All right,
pick.
bye,
Jesus,
guys.
we have to finish this because everyone's
Yeah,
like probably.
I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna
so
go
sorry.
quicker here. I love the Ravens. Purple on purple is really awesome, and it sticks out. And it's different than everybody else in the league. It's unique. It's open. I hate that team, but I like the purple on purple. I'm gonna go with the Ravens there. Mura for 2.
Okay. So first one, I'm going to go with the Houston Oilers blue jersey, like thinking just Warren Moon. And those were so much better than the current Titans jerseys. So definitely pick theirs. A lot of these are throwbacks for me because I think some of the current ones are not so great.
Mhm.
And this one is tough for me. I think I'm going to go with the Packers green jersey, their home jersey, and like it's hardly ever changed. So you can just pick a year. I mean, other than that crazy one that they wear from like 1920, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just a classic jersey. I think of like Favre, and a lot of these, like it just reminds you of a certain player or something that you watch. So yeah, I think I go Packers there.
I like that. I'm going to go another one that I like. Again, I have a few here still that I feel pretty the same about, but you know me, guys. I'm all about originality, and I want the ones that pop. I'm going to go the Jacksonville teal. I like Jacksonville teal on teal. Again, just the same way as the last one, where I just like that with the purple on purple. Like it pops. It's good. It works. It's kind of like. It's almost to a point now where it's like nostalgia, right? Like it was all of ours, like first expansion team, and you know and they were cool, they were good right away, and it was kind of cool to like them, even though they ruined Jim Kelly's career. But it's fine. Man, I almost made a bad joke. I didn't. Look at that. Look at that, Allie. We're getting good. All right, next one, Allie, you're up.
I'll go fast so I don't ruin everyone's night. I'm going, because I love Prince, I'm going 1962 Minnesota Vikings, silky pants, a jersey right to the elbow, very flattering for the bicep. Looked good. White jersey, purple lettering, yellow outline. Amen.
I like it.
I don't want to ruin everyone's night, so okay.
Clayton, you're up for your fifth pick, and then your sixth and final pick.
All right, so these are going to be kind of similar looking because I really like the color play of it. So this next one is going to be the 2012 Carolina Panthers. Like I kind of like the black with the blue and it's like the only modern one I have because so many of the other modern jerseys look like fucking dog shit. Like they're all they look like X-Men suits. Like they got too many fucking like things going on, and it's just like it's ugly as shit. But this is like a nice like that black and that blue, like that. I don't know, like that was like a big thing in the 90s, but like the fact that it still looks that clean, like in 2012, like I fuck with it again. Big stripes, gotta love them. Gotta love them. Gotta love a good stripe on the arm. And also the Panthers logo. That's a fucking hard logo. I'm gonna like it's kind of like a I don't know. If you saw that like on a soda, you'd be like, "Oh shit!"
And we open this. Yeah. Toothy. Is it toothy, Clayton?
Yeah,
Toothy?
like when you mentioned like the Jaguars, I was like, that's exactly what I think of. Like those hard electric colors for blue raspberry and shit. Like,
yeah. Get Invisalign. I get it. Yeah.
All right.
Can you imagine the only football team with adult braces is the Jaguars?
Is it right?
Yeah, really. Yeah.
I was only in mine for 5 years, Allie. Don't worry about it. It's really a very simple thing. What's that?
What kind of zygote were you? Disgusting.
He had to first get teeth, and then
yeah. So it didn't work, right? So then I had to pull out all my teeth. It didn't work at all. No,
See, what happened was
whatever. It's the first time in my life I've been able to smile. So let's just leave me alone. Hold on.
Trevor Lawrence.
No, you didn't. I was going in for a boop. You didn't boop me. Sorry.
Oh yeah. I thought it was like a goosebump. Choose your own destiny. I was like, next. Joking. All right.
All right. Are you up?
Yeah.
No. Yes.
I have I gotta take
Your
my
last
final
pick.
one.
Sorry.
No, you're good. And my final pick is the like 93 Detroit Lions
Yes.
jersey. Like
Yes.
just that fucking blue and the silver, like Barry Sanders. Like I
Yes.
gotta have two picks with player with Sanders.
No, I love that pick, and it probably would have been my next one. That's iconic, right? Like,
Yep.
Again, I'm big on nostalgia, and just it's Thursday, it's Thanksgiving football, and Barry Sanders, who was my favorite player as a kid. Go ahead, Ryan. I saw you wanting to. Were you going to say something?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were jumping in. I love that pick. That's a great last pick of the draft for you, Clay. So that might get you somewhere. Go ahead, Allie. I didn't forget your name. I just didn't know who was up.
No, it's fine. 2009. This is also, I'm so sorry, Buffalo fans. 2009, Miami Dolphins. They had this weird jersey. It was their other jersey. It was like this, again, because it looks like crap. That's why I'm choosing it. It was like this orangey gold color. You can Google it. Not good looking. It was like metallic-y. Kylie Minogue era, very awful. So they looked like garbage on the field. It's like 125 degrees there. So they probably all got sunburned, which is not going to be great years to come. So 2009 Miami Dolphins jersey. God bless.
I've got it coming up. So hold on.
It's not good. If you guys don't remember, it's like.
I remember it,
Ready?
but I want to show.
Ready?
Well, what did I
nice
do
haircut, Lou. Nice haircut. Nice haircut.
Yeah, what am I? I was like, hey, I just want to show off. Wait, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Just really wanted to show off.
Very vain.
That Invisalign smile.
Yeah.
All right.
But
wait, really? There it is.
We get it. You have money. We get it.
All right, that's an ugly jersey.
That is.
It's not red. It's like you're not even like pick a lane.
Yeah, that's a really ugly jersey.
That's like
really
also
it's
the
like
Lumineers are
Beetleborg
coming
rust.
to town.
It's
Oh my god. Are you up? You're up. Are you up? No, you're done. You are done.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you're done. Allie is done with drafting. She's
I'm
no
muting
more.
myself.
I don't know if you guys, Allie or Ryan, you followed the results from our poll last week, but Yvette beat us, and I don't love that. So I wanted to get back on the winning streak here, and I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to have to do something to try to cement this victory that I absolutely hate. But the old school, like, Pats red home jerseys from like the 80s are
I
like
agree. That's
maybe
that's
like
a
a
good
top 3 jersey. Like I didn't want to take them with the top 3 pick because I wanted to be forced into taking them. But I have to take them here because they're so pretty, and they sucked back then, so it kind of feels better about that. We always beat them every year, so that's just too good of a jersey to leave off of being drafted, so I had to take it. So Ryan, finish us off.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Kelly Green Eagles jersey. Yeah, just it's different. It's simple. The helmet is really what makes it. Just instead of the current logo, it just kind of has like wings, and it just looks sweet. And you can find a throwback. It's like I think Vic actually wore a throwback of that when he played in Philly, and it's like, again, anything that Michael Vick wears though, he's going to make it look good. So it's all about the aesthetic to me. And well, Allie said, well, wait a second about that.
Yeah, I love that one dog bone necklace he has.
All right. Yeah, maybe not anything.
All right. Vic, who is the player? I wanted to do this like through the whole thing, and I kind of forgot about it, but luckily we didn't, because Allie would have ran on and longer, and so would I. But who do you think of in that jersey? And Ryan, I'm asking you, like, who do you think of when you think of that jersey?
When I think of Kelly Green Eagles
Philly jerseys, like, who's the first player that comes to mind?
Probably, I don't know. I don't really have like. I like how
Randall Cunningham. It is for me. I wanted to see if you'd say that, but like Randall Cunningham's the guy that, like, he wore that. That's what the jerseys they were wearing when he came into the league, and he was Michael Vick before it was Michael Vick, and he was like the first real exciting player in the league like that. And I think about him a lot, and in that jersey. Well, yeah, I don't. In that, just that jersey too. I think about him a lot. I just sit
nothing else.
I sit at home like, you know what, man? I wonder what Randall Cunningham is doing these days.
Again.
It's a long jersey, like it's a dress. You're just
or not play, or not.
Yeah.
Allie.
Just right hip.
Risky businessing it right now.
Allie, it was such a pleasure having you. And Clayton, you as well. We'll text about future opportunities. Don't worry. Like, I'll let you know if there might be something in the.
All right. We'll see you at Big Lots, Lou. We'll see
you. Ryan, that was literally one of the most fun episodes I've done in a really long time. So I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, that was
we literally have, like, the best thing about this is I'm going to be able to text you what we did and what we didn't do, and we have another show whenever you're ready to do another show, because we have a lot here that we didn't go through today, and we had a lot of good conversations that we weren't even able to really expand on. So I'd like we'll catch back up next week, hopefully, if you have the opportunity to come on, and we'll be doing that. And everybody, thanks for listening. I hope you guys had fun and didn't get offended too much by Allie or I. And Ryan, look at how offensive he is with that hair. He's got that good a hair. And how old are you?
34.
Oh, okay. You still got some time to start losing it. I'm praying for it. All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week.